Welcome to Enchanting Folktales, a channel where we tell stories filled with moral life lessons. Today's story is about Izara, the lazy and unfaithful wife. Once upon a time, there lived a man named Kofi and his wife Izara. Kofi was a hard-working and kind-hearted man who loved his family dearly. However, Izara, his wife, was known throughout the village for her laziness, selfishness, and lack of care for her family. Her days were spent indulging in idle gossip with her friends, neglecting her household responsibilities in the process. While Izara's friend enjoyed the latest news and scandalous tales from Izara, Kofi silently suffered the consequences of her lack of attention to him and their children. Kofi would return home from his demanding job, exhausted and hungry, only to find an empty table. Their children, disappointed and hungry, would look up to their father, their eyes filled with unspoken questions. Izara rarely cooked for them or tended to their needs, prioritizing her desires over the well-being of her family. Whenever Kofi's mother paid a visit, the children would rejoice, knowing that a delicious meal would grace their table. The caring neighbor too occasionally extended a helping hand, sometimes preparing a warm and comforting dish for the children to cook, or Kofi would cook for his children. Izara was so lazy that she could not cook nor take good care of her family. Despite the frustrations and disappointment, Kofi still loved his wife. He held on to the hope that deep down there was a goodness about her, waiting to be ignited. He believed that one day she would realize the importance of her role as a wife and a mother. Kofi would sometimes return home early, hoping to find a transformed Izara, who would be taking care of their children and their home. Yet time and again, his hopes were shattered by the reality of neglect. As years passed, people would come to warn Kofi that his wife was cheating around, but Kofi, who still loved his wife Izara, knew that she was lazy and sometimes selfish, but never ever believed or thought that she would be an unfaithful wife. He decided to shower her with gifts, believing that if he showered her with attention and gifts, she would one day change. He saw beyond her flaws, cherishing the moments when she would show some glimpse of tenderness and compassion. One evening, Izara discovered that she was expecting another child. Excited yet anxious, Izara felt a sense of uneasiness and uncertainty. She then told her husband Kofi about the child they were expecting. Kofi, oblivious of her past neglects towards their family, embraced the news with joy, looking forward to expanding their family. He hoped that this child would bring a change in Izara. As the months passed, Izara's pregnancy progressed, but her attitude remained unchanged. She continued to disregard her duties, leaving Kofi, her husband, to take care of their home and their children alone. She would hide under the guise of pregnancy. Her attitude became worse. But Kofi, who was determined to save their family, kept on taking care of her and the children, hoping that the child's arrival would bring about a change in Izara. Then, one day, it was time for Izara to give birth. Kofi noticed her pain became unbearable and decided to take her to the hospital. With the help of his friend Maduka and concerned neighbors, Kofi swiftly arranged for her to be taken to the nearest hospital. Upon their arrival to the hospital, Izara was immediately attended by some medical staff. Kofi, anxious and worried, stood by her side, holding her hand tightly and offering words of encouragement. The doctor and nurses worked diligently to ease her pain and ensure a safe delivery. The hours seemed to stretch on endlessly, and Izara endured these excruciating contractions, her face contorted with every wave of pain. leaving Kofi helpless and filled with a deep sense of longing to alleviate his wife's suffering. As he watched his wife endure the agony of childbirth, he felt so sorry for her. A profound desire welled up within Kofi. He wished with all his heart that he could somehow share her pain to lessen her burden and bear it alongside her. His love for her was so immense that he yearned to take off the suffering from her, even if it's just for a moment, to provide her with some relief. With tear-filled eyes, Kofi whispered a prayer, pleading to the universe and to God, or any power who would listen. He wished, born out of love and desperation, to shoulder some of this pain to ease his wife's pain. Time seemed to stand still, and in that tender moment of anguish, something extraordinary occurred. The universe, in its mysterious way, responded to Kofi's heartfelt plea. The pain, as if guided by an unseen force, bypassed Izara and shifted towards Kofi's dear friend Maduka, who had been by his side throughout this ordeal. Maduka, Kofi's friend, who had been supporting Kofi, suddenly found himself immersed in a throes of labor pain. The room was filled with confusion and disbelief, as Maduka's cries mirrored those of a pregnant woman in the midst of childbirth. It was unexplainable, and this left everyone surprised and astonished. In the midst of chaos and confusion, Kofi's eyes widened with disbelief. The realization slowly dawned on him that his wife's pain was somehow transferred to his friend, Maduka. In that moment, he couldn't help but question Izara's faithfulness to their marriage and their children. Maduka, still suffering, managed to grasp out the word. "I am crying. I am in pain. I am in pain. It's like I'm giving birth. Please take this away. Please take this away." The room felt silent as everyone exchanged surprising glances. It was then that Kofi's suspicion was confirmed and the scales had finally fallen off his eyes. As the truth unraveled, the villagers looked upon Izara with disappointment and disbelief. It was a profound betrayal, not only to Kofi, but to the entire community who had hoped for her to change. Out of pain and anger, Kofi delivered Izara into Maduka's custody, warning her never to approach him and their children again. He assured her that he would personally tend to their children's needs at home, expressing gratitude to his friend Maduka for a job well done. From that day forward, Kofi decided that he could no longer trust Izara as his wife. He focused his love and attention on his children, providing them with care and support whenever they needed. Though his heart ached with the pain of his wife's betrayal, he vowed to be the best father he could be, ensuring that his children grew up surrounded by love and understanding. The villagers talked about this story for many years. It was about a wife who was lazy and disloyal. Her actions and consequences had affected more than just her family. It reminded everyone that love should be mutual and trust is fragile and can easily be broken. Even though Kofi still loved Izara, he knew deep down that their love had changed forever. He allowed her to visit their children sometimes, but the marriage was over. The village would always remember their story as a warning about being unfaithful and breaking trust. The lesson in this story is: neglecting one's duty and responsibilities can have far-fetching consequences, impacting not only oneself but also the well-being of those around us. Trust and loyalty are foundational elements in any relationship. Once broken, they can be challenging to repair. Izara's self-centeredness and laziness resulted in the breakdown of her marriage and the loss of her trust from her family and the community. Misunderstanding and assumption can arise when communication is lacking. Open and honest communication is essential in fostering understanding, trust, and resolving conflicts. If you enjoyed the story, let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel, as this will help our channel grow. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. See you in the next story. Bye.